Hello everyone, this is Sloth from Sins Gaming, and once again I'm here to give you a quick tutorial. Very simple tutorial today. Well, simple in certain ways. Now I think I've got all of the information correct uh, when I'm talking to you about this one. Today I'm going to talk to you about maneuvers. So I'm going to get this spacecraft right in position so that we have just a single orbital track. And as you can see right now, I've got it set up for intercept with Kerbin. So a maneuver is simply what you're going to do sometime in the future. And in this case, um, this maneuver would take place, let's see, let's pull up my nav ball, would take place 1 hour and 46 minutes in the future. Now, there are 6 different parts to a maneuver that can be changed. And if you've watched any of my other tutorials and got slightly confused or weren't sure what was going on, or if I got any of the maneuver types messed up, and I know I did, um, this is to correct them. So your 2 most basic maneuver types are your prograde and retrograde, which are also represented down here on the nav ball. You can see your prograde right there, and retrograde I just passed. So retrograde there. These emblems are identical. Okay, and prograde is adding to your direction of travel. Retrograde is removing or going against your direction of travel. Then you have normal and anti-normal. And what those do is they change the inclination of your orbital path. And as you can see, it's changing the incline of my orbit. Okay, and then you also have radius out or radial out and radial or radius in. So as you can see, that's changing the orbital track by going inside the radius of the circle or going outside the radius of the circle. So let's set a potential orbital track so that I would have an orbit of Kerbin that would be able to be used, and that's still way too much. Don't even need that much. We only need 70,000 to stay outside the atmosphere of Kerbin. And I'm here. There we go, 70,000. Okay, so we'd have that one set up just the way we'd want. And now we can actually set up another maneuver and say this one we want to complete a 70,000 meter orbit. Should probably be somewhere in there. 120. There we go. 80. So we got 70,000 and 80,000 on either side. Okay. So you can pre-plan a bunch of these and it won't show what it's about to do until you've completed this first maneuver. So say we don't want to perform this time. So let's create another one. Let's go here and say we want to elongate that just a bit. Okay, and do something screwy with it. Sure, why not? All right, and now we can right click on this and you can see 3 buttons here. This will obviously delete your maneuver, or we can tell it not on that we want to do it not on this pass, so not on the first time around, but say the second, or the third, or the fourth, or the fifth, and keep going and going and going. That would be 17 days in the future that that maneuver would take place. Move some of those. And that would be 4 days in the future. So you see, if you wanted to, say, make contact with the moon, let's get that back up and get that deleted. Say we wanted to make contact with the moon once more. And you might notice that I just left contact with the moon, but say we, for some odd reason, we want to make contact again. So let's say over here, we'd create a maneuver and increase until we make contact with the orbital ring, and say we don't want to make any other changes other than making contact with the orbital ring, and we want to wait for the moon to be in contact the next time we come around. So we'll go here. Oh, let's set this as a target first. I always forget that. Oh, come on. Work with me here. Set as target. There we go. Okay. And let's pull up that maneuver again. Let's add another maneuver. Prograde. Okay. So we're going to want to wait for the moon to come around closer. And there we go. At the, what, third? One round, two rounds. So, like the third time around the circle, around the orbit, we can do this burn here, which will then put us in contact with the moon. Minimal amount of fuel usage if we set up the simplest maneuver, the most efficient maneuver possible, and then from there we just keep waiting around this orbit until we make the contact we want to make. This is a pre-planning thing. It works a lot of the time, unless of course you're making contact um, with like a planet. So like if we're trying to make contact with Duna, then doing multiple orbits would equal years. And sometimes you want to get things over and done with a lot sooner, like in this multiplayer setup, not the one I'm in right now, but the multiplayer setup I have with my team. Uh, we like to keep things as time sensitive as possible because we're actually competing against one another. So time is crucial. So let me see if if I actually have any fuel on board this thing. Monopropellant. Nope, doesn't look like I have any fuel, so I can't perform any of these maneuvers for you guys. But as you can see, that is essentially how you do things. Now, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm more than willing to help you guys out or to clarify anything in a future video. But as always, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all later.